Hi guys, this is Divanshu from Team CaptureKit, and this is a small tutorial on how you can take screenshot of all the URLs in a domain. And what you have to do is provide a seed URL in this whole workflow. The workflow then gets all the URLs that a domain has, and one by one takes screenshot of them and saves all the URLs and their screenshot in this particular database that we have built for this automation. So there are two APIs that we are using in this particular automation. One being this API, which is page content API, and we are getting the data of a page in a structured format. And to read more about this API, you can go to the documentation here, and you get all the links a domain has as a part of the whole output from this API. So page content API is used in the third module, and we will be using screenshot API in this fifth module in our workflow. And then later we get all this data into our database, which is Google Sheets. I'll also let you know the format of Google Sheets. So this was the bird eye view of the whole automation. Now I'll go through each step in this whole automation to help you understand how each one is connected to each other, and that way you can better build it or customize it for your sense. So like any automation, you need a trigger to start it, and we have it on schedule trigger. You can do it manually or by using this particular node, which I'm using. The next node is Google Sheets node and get rows in a sheet. From this node, we are getting the domain, which we would enter in the Google Sheet to get all the URLs and their screenshot. And it typically looks like this, where we have domain in tab 1 and we get all the screenshots in tab 2. So over here, you have to enter the domain for which you want to take screenshots for. I'm taking it for CaptureKit. So this is how the configuration of this particular node would look like. And let's execute this step and check the data. And you get the website URL over here, which we will feed into our API. We'll feed this output data to our API, and we'll be using page content API via the HTTP request node. And this is the endpoint of the API we are using. This is my access key that is used as a necessary parameter to run this API. Then you have to pass URL, which is this URL that we are passing, and you have to also include one more parameter, that is this include underscore sitemap to true, to get all the URLs in this domain. So let's execute this step also and see how the data we get in this node. So this is the output of the API, and you get a success message to true if the API runs results, and these are the data points that it gives. And for this particular tutorial, you will be needing these links to get in our automation further, and then we will take screenshot of each. The next node we are using is split out, because the data of all the links that we get through this HTTP request is in an array format, and therefore we would be separating it out. So this is the part which I have used over here. And now let's execute this step to check what output you get from this node. And as you can see that we have got every links in different data field, and we can collect it later to get screenshot. The next node is loop over items node. We would be using this node because we want to get a screenshot of each URL stored in database first, and then take the screenshot of the next URL, because this is how the API works. It takes screenshot of one URL every time. You cannot pass all the URLs in a single go through this API. So what we are doing is taking the screenshot of the URL over here, which I'll tell you how we have configured it, and then saving it to our database. The loop over items node is set to 1. We want one URL each time from this data that we get in the split out node. And then we are passing that to our screenshot API. This is how the screenshot API is configured. We have the access key, we have the URL that for which we want to take the screenshot for, and the s3 underscore URL to true, because this parameter helps us to save the public URL, accessible URL, and therefore they're using this parameter. And let's execute this node and see what result we get. So you get the screenshot URL of that particular page, and that URL we will save in our database next. So next is our Google Sheets node, and the function we are using is append row in the sheet. This is how the Google Sheets module is configured. We are taking it to screenshots tab, which is this one, and we are taking the URLs and screenshot URLs both in that particular tab. The URLs we are taking from the loop over items node, and the screenshot URLs we are taking from our last node, which is HTTP request one. We can name it to screenshot of URLs also. So we are taking screenshot in here. And I have already ran this automation because I was testing it, and you get this sort of database in your sheet, wherein for each page you have the screenshots. So for page content page, this is the screenshot that we got. If you want to take the full page screenshot, you can also do that. Read more about that in our documentation. This is the screenshot API documentation. This is a page content API automation API that we have used over here. There is one more API, that is AI content API, but it was not the part of this automation, but you can check that also. Finally, you can connect the output of Google Sheets node to the loop over items node, and this way you can get the screenshot of all the URLs saved in this particular database. So if you want to screenshot at scale or content from the page at a scale, you can use our APIs. We have screenshot API, we have page content API that you can use. The screenshot APIs allow you to scale your screenshot generation like we did in our previous automation. So there can be many use cases that you can use it. You can start now for free and get 100 free credits to start. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions regarding the R API, you can send us a comment and we would read that comment and reply you shortly. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.